Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. Brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest in studio this morning is DNR Officer Noah Workman. Good morning, Officer. How are you?
Good, Seth. How about yourself?
Doing good. Doing good. The summer is flying by. Oh, my gosh. I can't believe we're towards the end of June already. My goodness.
July.
I'm sorry, July.
Yeah,
what am I saying?
What
am I saying?
21st of July. It has flown by. It's gone by really quick. It seems like the 4th was last week. And
it feels like 2 weeks ago we were talking about Memorial Day and just everything has gone on since. What has gone on since? How's the lake? How's boating, fishing, all the things? What's going on?
You know, it's been busy. There's been a lot of people visiting Clinton Lake and Weldon Springs. We've had a lot of boats out at Clinton Lake, so it's just been busy with just random things and things to talk about today. The fishing's been busy too. I mean, we've had a lot of cars down the spillway, a lot of people fishing out at Clinton Lake. Not so much at Weldon Springs. Don't get a high fishing pressure out there, but Clinton Lake for sure is where the majority of our fishermen are going to be at.
Sure. Well, let's start with boating. Boating season. How's it gone so far? Any issues? What have you noticed? How about some of those things?
Oh man, I'm glad you asked. There was not talking about like any violations or stuff. It was what we've noticed and what we've had, especially this past weekend, has just been an uptick in just people just neglecting safety and not thinking things through. I was going to talk to you, or I was going to talk about something as, a lot of boaters might think it's simple, but there's a little bit of a process. And I think I talked about it Memorial Day as far as loading and unloading your boat off its trailer, at a boat ramp, and things to kind of keep in mind as you're doing that as far as safety. And, it's on the Clinton Lake Facebook, but yesterday we had a truck submerge out at Clinton Lake off the Scoot boat ramp.
Oh, no kidding.
And
what happened there?
He was loading his boat on, and I think he said his boat was a little bit crooked on his bunk, so he decided to back in a little bit to kind of center it and get it ready to go. And his truck just kept sliding back, and he bailed out of the truck fortunately in time, and he was unhurt. There was no medical emergency, but he was able to get out, and his boat pulled his truck, and it was fully submerged, and they had to call the dive team and the tow companies to come out and pull the submerged truck trailer and the boat out of the ramp.
Does that happen often, stuff like that? I mean, I would think it would be not common, but that wouldn't be unusual to see like a trailer pull a boat or pull a vehicle into the lake. Is that uncommon? I guess
I wouldn't say it's common or uncommon. We get, I would say, roughly estimating at least one, if not 2 to 3 out at Clinton Lake a year.
Yeah.
During a boat season between Memorial and Labor Day, we're going to get 1 to probably 3 situations like that.
Got it. So what should that individual have done then? What should he have done different?
It's not that what he should have. I didn't get a really good chance to interview. I was handling something else. Another officer came out to kind of relieve me midway through it. But things to keep in mind, I think I talked about it on Memorial Day. Make sure if you got a 4-wheel drive on your truck, put it in 4-wheel drive. The ramps get slick. They grow the moss. And I mean, this individual, he only had a 14-foot John, and it still was able to, but with the slope of the ramp and everything and all the factors that played into it, still was enough to pull his 2,500 truck in and submerge it. Like I said, I think I said it during Memorial Day. It's the only time a cops can tell you don't wear your seatbelt. He did not have a seatbelt on, thankfully, and he was able to get out of the truck before it entered the water. 4-wheel drive, no seatbelt, windows down, so in case it does get to be too late, you can swim and crawl out your window. And don't have any distractions. Stay off your phone. Be mindful if you got your truck in park because you're going out to work on the boat while it's getting on the trailer. Parking brake applied. Just little safety, little things like that. That's going to help ensure that's going to go a little bit more smoothly.
Anything on the water you've noticed in terms of negligence of safety and protocols?
Nothing that we didn't talk about before. There's the common safety violations. Guys, boaters that might be off of a Type 4 throwable, or their battery cover terminals aren't covered. Little minor things, checking the fire. A lot I've noticed, I guess you noticed the fire extinguishers expirations kind of uptick this year. Been kind of looking at fire extinguishers, and every 12 years, Coast Guard recommends that you change out your fire extinguisher. And you guys there's boats out there I've checked that were, built in the 90s that have the original fire extinguisher. And it's like, man, you got a 25-year-old fire extinguisher. It might be time to might be time to just replace. And
It's going to blow out dust instead of that. Yeah.
just make sure it's operable. And then, so after 12 years, if you're a boat owner, go out, look at your fire extinguisher. If you notice it's 12 years old, go buy a marine, grade fire extinguisher, Coast Guard approved.
Sure. Very good. Well, again, in terms of on the water, I know one of the big things is always, of course, life vests, life jackets, noticing good compliance there.
We have noticing, I've not ran into myself. I've checked a lot of boats this year. I don't think I've ran into one where there were short life jackets or anything like that. I've noticed at Clinton Lake, everybody's been great. I've not written one ticket or addressed one situation where a kid was not in a life jacket. And that is a big pet peeve of mine. Kids not under 13, not in a life jacket. You've got my full attention. But I have not seen one, and it's been great to see. And I've even gone to the extreme, like when I stop boats and I've noticed a lot of kids in life jackets, thanking them. Like, thank you for putting your kids in life jackets and making sure that, the kids are safe.
Not often the cops are going to stop you to say thank you, right?
Yes, I'll stop, do their safety inspection. I'll be like, look, I'm glad you guys are practicing good safety habits with your kids and putting them in life jackets. And I know it's the law, but when I first transferred down here, I saw more of it where kids were not in life jackets. And it's just been great that I have not had to address it this year.
The word is out. Officer Workman is looking for it.
Kids are the unfair advantage. It's the adult's responsibility to make sure those kids are safe. So
sure.
I'm glad it's been that way.
How about just boating in general? In terms of honoring the no wake zones, slowing down when you're around bigger boats. If you're, doing like the skis or things of that nature, you notice good safety with those types of boats?
I have. I've not seen one boat really. I've not been present when a boat's violated a wake area, DeWitt Bridge or the bridges and the ramp area. I've not seen too many boats messing around, acting crazy and driving with a wake inside those areas.
And why are those no wake zones?
Just for safety issues. You got people, especially near ramps, loading and unloading off docks and off ramps.
Oh, okay.
So it's just to keep the water still.
Yeah.
And you talked about the safety. I've noticed like people neglecting to put up their orange flag when they're towing with skiers, tubers, stuff like that. Anytime you're pulling somebody, whether it be on a jet ski or a boat, you got to have that orange flag visible. So that way other boaters around that you've got somebody under tow.
Is the people watching pretty good at like when you're just not like when there's not necessarily nothing going on, but you don't have somebody pulled over?
It's beautiful.
Yes,
I can sit at the boat ramp in the evenings on a weekend and watch the husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend yelling back and forth, trying to get the boat on the trailer and back in the trailer in. And it's great people watching, fantastic people watching. When I was growing up, I rode motorcycles with my dad, and one of my dad's things, we like to ride out to the marina. And one time I asked him, so what do we go out here for? He goes, oh, we're just going to come out here and watch people load and unload boats. And I sat there when I was 18.
Is it like funny?
Oh, it's just entertaining.
Is it? Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's just verbal domestics, and they're screaming at each other and straighten this trailer out, and you've jackknifed the trailer. And I watched a guy backed his trailer in. A woman was running the boat up, and she did not know throttle outside of full on forward or full on reverse. And I thought she was going to ramp that trailer and go in the bed of the truck. And I'm sitting there shaking my head like, oh no, he's yelling and screaming. And it's great entertainment. If you're bored on a weekend, go out to Clinton Lake from, about 4:45 to 6 p.m. and just watch. And it's free entertainment.
It's comedy hour with Officer Workman. That is amazing. Whew, I'm crying. Very good. I wanted to ask about DNR Officer Noah Workman in studio with us. I wanted to ask about fishing. Good compliance with the fishermen out there and fisherwomen, if you will.
The fishermen, fisherwomen. There's been a lot of them right now. What I've noticed, there's a lot of cat fishermen.
The catfish in the lake right now.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of cat fishermen, especially in the evenings. One thing I've noticed with them, everybody, I've not ran, a lot of people got their fishing licenses. The limits on catfish out there, 10, you can keep 10 when there's no size limit. So we don't really have any issues over there. The big one is, the big violation that I see in safety is the people that do the ground fires at night. They're setting these little ground fires up with rock. Seems harmless because you think you're around water and everything's going to be safe. And it's to keep the bugs away and to provide some light for the fishermen while they fish. But you can't have ground fires out at Clinton Lake when you're catfishing on the DNR property. You cannot. If you can have a grill, you can take a grill and you can grill, but it's got to be like within a metal grill. You can't just stack rocks and then start, a ground fire.
I see.
So that's the most common violation I've seen, is having just people extinguish the ground fire. So
is it only for catfishing, or is it for
just
any
in
fishing?
general? It has nothing to do with fishing. It's just I've noticed a lot of cat fishermen are doing it.
Got it. Gotcha. Very good. In terms of them on the lake in the, with their boats and everything, I mean, any issues fishing, like actually fishing, not just from the shore, but on the lake itself?
I haven't noticed anything. The one thing we were talking about boating, go back to boating for a second. I wanted to make sure I put just a little plug out there, is we've had, this past weekend in Lake Shelbyville, they had a drowning. And then the year prior, we had a drowning out at Clinton Lake, both very similar. If your boat happens to get loose from you, whether you didn't tie it off correctly on a dock and it starts to float away, or something's malfunctioning and you've got it off of a boat ramp, if it's not an emergency, don't go swimming after the boat. Flag somebody down to help retrieve your watercraft if it's abandoned, if it's on its own. You're both in this situation of last year with the jet ski. It was in a no wake. It was near the ramp, probably no more than 50 yards off the ramp, and a gentleman went swimming after his watercraft and he drowned. And I don't know the specifics of Shelbyville's, but it kind of sounded like something similar, where a boat was tied to a dock, got loose, started going out, and somebody went out swimming for their boat and submerged and never came up. And
so is it just an issue of the people don't know how to swim, or is it like once you're out there, you're just kind of in no man's land, like there's no reprieve for your like your breath and such? I
can speak for the jet ski incident a year or two ago, and I interviewed, because I was there, and I interviewed the victim's wife who witnessed it, and she said her husband was a good swimmer, and she attempted to throw a life preserver to him as he was swimming out towards her, and he just went under and never came back up. And so and from experience, open water swimming is way different than swimming in a swimming pool. So there's a lot of factors with open water swimming versus swimming in a controlled swimming pool,
such as
just the way the water's moving and temperature, all that. There's a lot of factors that go into it. So yeah, if you have an abandoned watercraft and something happens, either wear a life jacket if you're going to swim, or flag somebody down. Don't panic. The boat is going to float. There's nothing, the boat is not worth your life. Take your time, think it through before you panic and just go swimming after it. It's not worth it.
Got it. Yep. Very good, officer. Well, on that note, again, anything we didn't touch on, boating, fishing, you want to get to?
I don't think so. Fishing's been good. Boating's been relatively safe.
You had any issues with disturbances in terms of, substance abuse or substance use, things of that nature, causing some, like I said, disturbances on the lake or anything? Everybody's been pretty calm.
Everybody's been in compliance. Compliance. Like I said, I've checked a lot of boats, seen a lot of drunk people, but they've all been passengers. They're not operators, which is great. That's what I want to see. I want to see people having fun in a safe way. And as long as you've got a sober operator, your passengers can be as smoked as they want.
I dare I use the Q word?
What's that?
Quiet.
Don't use the Q word. I made that mistake yesterday, and I was talking to another officer midday, and I said, it was kind of a overcast day, and I jinxed myself and ended up having a 13-hour work shift yesterday.
Yeah.
So.
I didn't want to say it, but pried it out of me. Very good. Officer, let's take a break, come back with some more. DNR Officer Noah Workman in studio with us. More to come with him on the morning show.
WHOW.
Let's check the opening numbers now at the Chicago Board of Trade on this Monday. Jim Taylor on the RFD Radio Network. We start the day in the red with corn, beans, and Chicago wheat. September corn opening 404.5 down 4. December corn down 4.5 or 23 1/4. March corn 440 3/4 down 4. August beans starting the day 10.17 1/4 down 10 1/2. September beans down 9 1/2, 10 11 1/2. November beans 10.27 down 8 3/4. September wheat 5.46 1/4 unchanged. December wheat down 1/4 5.66 3/4. March wheat 5.85 down 1/4. August bean meal 274.20 up 20 cents. August bean oil 55.40, down 42 cents. Opening numbers at the Chicago Board of Trade on this Monday morning. I'm Jim Taylor on the RFD Radio Network.
Is the summer heat getting to you? This is Scott Baum from Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton and Farmer City, inviting you to cool down in a new Chevy. We have cool new crossovers like the Chevy Equinox or hot new trucks like the Chevy Silverado 1500, which has up to $7,500 in extra savings over our regular discounts. See all our inventory and prices online. And don't forget, we need and would love to trade yours in. Chevrolet, together let's drive. BaumChevyBuick.com, right from the start.
Make this school year their strongest yet. Book your child's back to school or sports physical today at SIU Center for Family Medicine in Lincoln. Keep them healthy, focused, and ready for success. Find out more by clicking their icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Hi, I'm Brett with Central Cremation Center. We're proudly offering pet cremation services to help keep your faithful companion close to you. Learn more about our pet services by clicking our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. My guest in studio this morning, DNR Conservation Police Officer Noah Workman. And Officer Workman, as we chat here for this morning, Weldon Springs. How's Weldon Springs doing?
I love that park. It's like I've said before, that park is clean, quiet. Oh, I said the keyword, cute, clean, clean, quiet,
Calm.
calm.
Just do all the superlatives
I'm
and
just
jinx
going to set
yourself.
myself up for failure here.
Yep. Jinx yourself to the sun.
It's good. We talked about, I think one time I was on here, we talked about like speeding through the park.
Mhm.
I haven't seen a lot of it this year.
Good.
I run radar. It's no secret I live out there, so I might selfishly run a little bit more radar out there than other officers, but run a lot of radar, and I've noticed the speeds have gone down consistently. So I'm glad to see that.
Yeah. The new concession operator bringing folks out and all that stuff.
I follow him on Facebook, and I've seen people out there on boats. So I have not yet gone down there to meet him. Gary, I believe is his name. He's got one part-time person working with him, and they've had karaoke. I've sat on my front porch and listened to the karaoke across the street. And he's trying to have activities and bring the public out. So
sure. Yeah, definitely. Just in terms of the condition of the parks right now, I know it feels like we get really dry and then we get really wet, and we'll probably get really dry again and really wet. Does that impact like patrolling the campground or what you're looking for at the campground and those things?
Yeah, a little bit. So during wet times or after a rain or on the weekends, if there's raining and a lot of traffic, a lot of people they'll come to camp with three vehicles. One will be pulling a camper, one will be pulling a boat, and one will be just a car, and there's not enough space for three vehicles, so they're parking on the grass and rutting it up, and potentially it's just causing a little bit of ground damage. It's a public park, and there's other people that want to use it. Don't if you can avoid parking on the grass, there's ample parking around the campground and around the park in general. Use a designated concrete roadway parking spot.
We circumstances like this past weekend where we just get so much rain. Does the springs, like the pond itself, does it get super full? The Clinton Lake, how's its levels doing? How about some of the water levels?
I didn't get to see the water levels this weekend after the rain. I have a little kiddie pool in my backyard for my daughter, and it was, I bet we got 2-3 inches. There was a lot of rain. That kiddie pool elevated a couple of noticeable inches.
Did it?
Yeah. So, but I don't know about the water levels out at Clinton Lake or Weldon Springs as far as answering that.
Yeah, that's fine. I was just curious. Very good. Well, I've got a couple of minutes left with you, Officer Workman. Anything, again, Clinton Lake, Weldon Springs adjacent, we've not touched on, you want to put out there for us?
I don't think so. I guess a couple plugs. I got some notes.
Yeah, sure. What do you got?
It was one thing I want to say. I noticed this weekend it was a little bit busier. Dogs on leashes. Keep your dog, especially at your campsite. When I was patrolling the campground at Clinton Lake, you see a lot of dogs running loose, but they're staying on their campsite. But we did have a dog attack another dog at Weldon Spring this weekend. So, that the potential of that does happen. Just because you tie your dog to a tree with a leash doesn't mean that it's
Someone
not going to
else's
break
dog.
loose, or it's not going to break loose. You got to tend to your dog the whole time.
Mhm.
Keep it on a leash. Avoid those kind of situations. No ground fires. I touched on it. You lose your watercraft. Don't swim after it. Slow down through the parks. I've noticed Clinton Lake. I'd said Weldon Springs was kind of slowing down.
Mhm.
Clinton Lake is not.
Mhm.
It's a 30-mile-an-hour zone. I've had another officer. I think the most we've had was like a 56 mile an hour in the 30-mile-an-hour zone on
What?
that main road. So, just slow down. We've been hitting, running radar pretty heavy out at Clinton Lake just
Mhm.
because of the amount of traffic it gets and the speeders that we've noticed.
We didn't get to camping. How about the campgrounds? How are campgrounds, both Weldon Springs and Clinton Lake? How are they doing?
This weekend was a little bit busy. There was this weekend at Weldon Springs, there was a family reunion from people out of state that came. I got to meet them at Meadowview. They rented. I went out and talked with them for a little bit. And so that park was busy. Clinton Lake, when I was driving around and looking through campgrounds, there was quite a few open spots in the non-alcohol loops, but the areas where you can consume alcohol and possess alcohol, there's a normal amount. I mean, it wasn't, I wouldn't say super busy, but there was a good amount of people out there.
Yeah, sure. Very good. Any like issues with trash, parking, after hours disturbances, things of that nature you're noticing?
Knock on wood again. I don't want to jinx myself. I have not had any late night after hours noise disturbances.
Either that or you're just getting the right shifts.
I don't know. Maybe
that's got to be it.
maybe
right?
that's it. My coworkers will tell me that I have to actually work to get called because I'm gone so much on vacation or military. They'll tell me I got to work more, but no, I've not had to deal with that this year. Knock on wood. You talked about litter. The most of the litter that I've noticed is checking fishermen. Man, I'm not saying every fisherman, but I've just noticed a lot of litter being left behind by fishermen. Styrofoam containers that had night crawlers, or they'll bag up their garbage, but they'll leave the bag of garbage down by the water, and it's like, no, you take it back up. There's plenty of dumpsters and trash cans around our lake and our property that you can dump that in, and don't leave it down there. And that's what I've noticed more with litter is just been the fishing areas, especially the spillway. That's been an ongoing issue. That's we could say that. We say that every year, and they've even threatened shutting the spillway down at times, if the litter doesn't get under control. But pick up your litter. That's all you ask. And
very good. Well said, Officer Workman. Well, anything in season right now?
Not hunting wise. We're gonna be tapping into it here in a couple months, but no, nothing hunting wise yet. So
Can't believe we're almost there.
I know we're gonna transition into that here real soon.
Sure.
We got our academy class in.
Yeah, how are they doing?
They're good. They're in week 5 of 16.
How many? Of 16.
Week
Okay.
5 of 16. A couple weeks ago at Clinton Lake, we had a big scenario of fish scenario. Last week they learned about waterfowl and had duck ID, and this week they're getting paid to shoot guns this week. So this week's firearms week. So that was when I went through the academy. That was a cool week. And
is it just other Noah in the academy for you all, or do you have another one in there?
Nope. Little
Noah. Yeah.
He was just smaller than me in stature, but Noah is in the academy. I actually saw him a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
He's doing good.
Yeah, very good. Officer DNR Officer Noah Workman in studio with us. Network news on the way.